talking about this.
Trying to bribe my baby out so I can tell y'all why a man who leaves you, oftentimes that absence is really a blessing in disguise. It hurt, but oftentimes, hold on, I'm a business showing. I got to step up now. But that's what I wanted to talk about. Why a man's absence is likely a blessing. You know, we in the day, starting off the new year, a lot of you guys thinking about your relationship goals, your family goals, and that man that you had everything planned with, no longer in the picture, and it hurts. I get it. But I want y'all to consider, really audit whether or not his presence in your life was helpful, or if his absence is actually more helpful. Now, y'all may see me kind of looking from screen to screen because I'm streaming to two different devices. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put this thing in the chat here on Facebook, because I've had some people asking to get into the challenge. A lot of you guys missed it before because I didn't talk about it a lot, the Selfish Season Challenge. So if you missed it before, let me make sure you guys don't miss it this time. On YouTube, it's in the description. But for those of you on Facebook, it should be a featured link in the description, comment, whatever. Anyway, like I was saying, so many of y'all take for granted that whenever a relationship ends, the whole value of it was really you. And this is not to say that the dude that you was with didn't have any value. There was nothing good to him being in your life. He wasn't there to support. He wasn't there to comfort. He wasn't there to make life at times easier. But this is to say, a lot of times what y'all attribute whenever you missing a dude, a lot of what y'all are thinking about are things that you ultimately was the vibe. Like you ultimately were the entire value add of the entire relationship. You made the relationship lit. And now that he's gone, you're thinking about, oh, I don't have anybody to do these things with. The whole time, you were the reason why the relationship was popping, the reason why it was interesting, the reason why it was fun. You were the ones planning the trips. You were the one that was making really progressive moves. You just gave yourself permission when you had a man. So many of y'all are actually the it factor in your relationships, and you thinking what you're missing is the relationship, but really what you're missing is that person that you allowed to be the permission for you to enjoy life the way that you did. Sometimes the guy that you're dealing with was getting way more out of the relationship than what you were getting out of the relationship. You just shared it with him. Just let her come on, baby. Come on, boo. Come on.
She's not even eating chocolate.
It's okay. It didn't work, and that's okay. So we're going to have a guest star here because the bribing didn't work. But I do want to talk about this because earlier I went live and I saw some messages. And a lot of times y'all are missing somebody, but what you're really missing, what's really hurting is the fact that you invested yourself into somebody and that person took whatever that investment was. And instead of you being able to realize your relationship goal with that man, you're now having to feel the hurt of that familiarity changing now, that missing piece there. Come on, boo. It's okay. I got it.
Could I
You
eat
got
the
it.
chocolate?
You can. Go ahead.
I want the chocolate like bar. Like
Okay. Close the door, baby.
Bar.
Close the door.
Could I have the whole chocolate?
No, not right now. Kids try to take advantage of you when they feel like you're busy. So clearly I'm not going to be here long, but I do want to say this message. If you were with a man that most of the relationship consisted of you having to ask, instead of you feeling overwhelmed with the type of love that you was getting, instead of you feeling inspired to be more of your best self, instead of you feeling more safe and protected, if you in a relationship kept feeling like you was his teacher, his professor, his mommy, a lot of y'all be with a dude and the whole time you're not getting love, you're just getting exhaustion. The whole time you're not getting a protector and a provider. You're getting a son. You're getting a bill. You're getting a liability emotionally and mentally. You're getting a liability. The only asset, if you will, is the fact that society says you're more valid if you have a man. But the whole time, he's not actually being the full value of a man. This is the reason why I say this is not because men are not good to have and there's no value. I think we're great. I think men and women together are great if men are being men. And of course, as women, if you're being women, not if you're being mommy, not if you're being professor. Not if you're being therapist. There's a big difference between a man being a man and a woman being a woman. But see, whenever you try to play all these other different roles and you try to fix him and everything else that's going to make him be a man or make the relationship work, instead of you bringing your best self and him bringing his and y'all coming together and creating something beautiful, this is when you get all of that stress. And instead of whenever the relationship ends, it really being because, okay, well, I'm hurting because this man, he brought so much value to my life and now I no longer have that. It just now feels like that dream of a relationship is just more elusive. And now you have to do the work to come back into your own company that you never cultivated enough happiness and contentment with. And that be the whole thing. So many of y'all come to me, man, look, so I have a Self-Crown Inner Circle. Some of y'all know about it, some of y'all don't. Self-Crown Inner Circle is my personal mentorship community where, oh, my baby is doing a lot today. Whew. It's interesting, ain't it? It's my mentorship community where, you know, we do these weekly live chats and a lot of women come and they're talking about, but anytime I ask about the guy, like I seriously audit and I say, well, what did he do that was of such value? Was he planning dates? Was like on his own? Was he planning dates? A lot of y'all be with dudes and y'all dang near be dating yourselves. Can I keep it real? Y'all be dating yourselves. You are planning the dates. You are telling him what to gift you and then reprimanding him whenever he doesn't want to gift you that thing. You are telling him how to emotionally see and validate you, and he just needs to follow directions. Half the time, y'all not with somebody. It should never feel like you're having to labor more to train him to be your partner than you're actually able to receive a partner in a relationship. And so what I mean is a lot of times y'all are laying up with your biggest blessing blocker and asking God to bless your lives. And if y'all just understood, like if you really were to do a serious audit, look at your ex, look at that guy that you're missing, that you don't have any closure because of his departure and all that kind of stuff in the relationship. How many of those needs was he actually meeting? This is my theory. If that man was actually meeting those needs, it would have produced a version of you that would have been very difficult for any man to leave. First off, the version of you that's properly loved likely wouldn't have opened up to just any man to begin with. If you were with a toxic man, it required something in you to not yet be healed enough to understand and recognize and leave that man when you should have. And if he was not toxic, if he was a good man, it likely would have produced a version of you that a good man not only would have recognized, but would have had a hard time leaving. Because the same way y'all look at men, y'all know that it's not a ton of us out here who have done the work and evolved, all that kind of stuff. That's the same way a lot of evolved men have an issue finding women who are equally yoked and have done the work, and they're not trying to be validated by society, and they're not, you know, just trying to be approved by friends and just have somebody to say they got anybody, and, you know, they've actually done the work to heal. And I'm going to do a Q&A right after we're done. But this is why I'm so big on the Selfish Season Challenge, because first off, you don't need me to do your Selfish Season Challenge. For those of y'all who see the link, if you see it in the comments, but every woman, if you've ever had a season of your life, season of your relationship where you were putting out more than what you were getting back on a consistent basis, because yes, there are going to be times where it's not 50-50, where you have more to give than that man has to give. Absolutely. But in a generality, if you notice that your effort is not reciprocated, the investment you have in a relationship is not reciprocated, more than likely, you became a version of yourself that put you last the same way he did. And if you ever had that, then now you have to kind of hit. It's just like whenever, let's say, if you have anything else that goes wrong, I'm trying to think, where you now need to heal that part of you that was broken, you have to overcompensate. You have to overcompensate. And so that part of you that was selfish in a healthy way needs to now heal. And we all have to have some level of putting ourselves first. That's how we keep our cup from going empty to where we can't pour into anybody else. Yes, I told you I was going to have a guest. But this is the same thing I'm going to teach her. When she gets of age, same thing I'm going to teach my other daughter. When she gets of age, stop thinking just because a relationship ended and it hurts that was a loss. Not everybody that you lose is a loss. A lot of times the guy that you lost was a blessing. Y'all know whenever you ask God for something, and I actually did a short about this, a reel. When you ask God for that man that's going to love you fully, and again, one day she's going to watch these videos and she going to know too. When you ask for God for that man that's going to love you fully, take care of you, cherish you, protect you, provide for you, etc., God is not thinking, oh, I got to do this through the man that she's currently attached to. That ain't what God's thinking. God is saying, okay, my daughter says she wants X, Y, and Z. I know how to make that happen. And if the man that you currently attach yourself to ain't good enough to make that happen, if he ain't cut like that, guess what? That relationship is going to fall apart. Not because God didn't hear you, but because he did. But because he did. So y'all be thinking that the guys that, you know, oh my gosh, he found a reason to break up with me. Oh my gosh, he cheated on me. Oh my gosh, he did whatever. And then that was enough to break the relationship. Y'all be thinking, oh my, I lost something. No, you didn't. You just hurting. You hurting because you didn't think enough of yourself whenever you even chose that man. You didn't think enough of yourself to say, look, wait, before I even fall in love with who he's presenting, let me take my time. Because if I miss out on him, I know he wasn't for me anyway. You went ahead and jumped straight into that relationship because you feel like everybody got the same heart as you. Yes, whenever you get in a relationship, you get to know a dude, what you present is exactly who you are. Not every dude works like that. Not every dude operates like that. Straight up. And so whenever you went and you chose this guy, maybe you was in a space where you were either vulnerable, maybe you were overly optimistic, and instead of really looking at his reality, you looked at his potential, because when you look at your potential, you're thinking through your values that you're going to go and become everything that you could be. Not every man is on that. And so stop looking at the guys that you lose just because it's painful doesn't mean it's a blessing. Whenever you get life-saving surgery, whenever you go through chemotherapy that gets rid of cancer, it's usually painful. Pain does not equal damage. I'm going to keep it real with you. Pain does not equal damage. A lot of that pleasure and that comfort that you was feeling was a setup to be let down later. Let me see, boo-boo. What time is it? You don't need to be eating no. I'm going to give you one little piece. You don't need to be eating no chocolate this late. But so many of y'all get to running away from pain, but guess what feels good? Cocaine feels good, so I heard. A lot of things feel good and they ain't good for you at all. And so, like, y'all my sisters, man. Like, I'm not your expert. I'm not your guru. I'm your big brother. I love you. I'm no perfect man myself, but I love you enough to tell you the truth and not hold anything back. A lot of y'all come and y'all hurting, and it's not because of the value of him, but because of the value of the love that you gave to him that he never deserved to begin with. A lot of times y'all not hurting because the man was so valuable, but because you gave something so valuable to somebody who did not know how to handle it. And that's why you hurting. And she's taking advantage of me not paying attention. I'm about to eat some myself. And this is why I'm so big on having a season of selfishness where you get back to invest in that which was wasted by somebody else into yourself. Where you put that time in, you put that work in. So people say that. Let me just give you guys, again, I have resources, modules, books, everything else that comes with my Selfish Season Challenge that I do with my Self-Crown Inner Circle. I'm going to give you the top level. For anybody who's ever fell into people-pleasing, raising, fixing a man, anything of the sort, you're going to need to do a few things in order to have a proper selfish season. And this is something, honestly, you should do a few times a year, with a man or without a man. Just to reestablish yourself and never lose touch of who you are. Never lose yourself trying to love somebody else. The first thing you need to do is you need to articulate exactly what that looks like. Who is she? Y'all get to wanting to know a man's needs and understand his needs and hear him and create safety. And y'all get so well versed. Y'all earn a PhD in whatever this man needs. And the whole time you're failing and flunking out from what you need in a relationship. Y'all put so much energy and time into expressing and training this guy to understand what you need. You lose sight of and honestly forget what it is you need. And the fact that you're probably not getting in that relationship. If you happen to put that much energy into training him, there's always going to be something that you have to tell this man in order for him to properly love you. No problem with that. Communication, do that. Men are not mind readers. But when it comes to telling a man and teaching a man the basics of being a man, so you don't feel like you have to be the man. Let me ask y'all a question. Put I down in the chat if you've ever been with a guy and it felt like you had to be the man in a relationship when it came to assertiveness, when it came to emotional stability at times. It felt like you were the man. Put I down in the chat if you've ever been there before. I don't know if I'm talking to anybody. So I needed to hear this today. I fell apart today, says Norma. Yeah, anybody watching this is not an accident that you stumbled upon this. I wasn't even going to do this. Y'all can see I'm on full-time daddy duty right now. I wasn't even going to do this conversation, but I felt it in my spirit. Somebody needed to hear it. And see, what happens is you get in a relationship where you feel like you got to be the man, and that leaves you not able not only to be the woman, but you're not able to take care of yourself. You are not meant to be the man in a relationship. If you were going to be in any type of relationship, any type of proximity with a man, he was supposed to be able to handle that part and allow you more capacity to be who you are. And see, if you handle that, if you're able to have more capacity to be who you are, you never lose sight of who you are. You never lose sight of your needs. A man is supposed to be in your life in at times, keeping you on your toes about what you need more than even what you remember to. Let me ask y'all another question. Some of y'all never been around a man that really loved you and really was for you. You'll be going so hard as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a girl, whatever you are, in whatever relation to whoever is around you. And if that man really loves you, he'll be the one to remind you to eat. He'll be the one to remind you to take a break sometime. He'll be the one to remind you, hey, look, you need to take a trip. You need to chill. Like, have you been out to the spa lately? Have you gotten a massage lately? Let me take care of you. He'll remind you of your needs for you if he's really for you. Not you having to forget about yourself just to take care of him. The same way y'all do for men. If a man is truly going hard, being the best version of himself every single day, getting up every day, grinding on a mission, trying to protect, provide for those that he loves, ain't you as a woman, don't you got to be the one to say, hey, did you eat good today? Did you eat good? You ain't sleeping as good. Let me help you unwind after work today so you can get some good sleep, and you helping him take care of himself. But see, whenever you guys are in your proper roles, that's only minimal. You helping him kind of fill in the blanks. He's helping you fill in the blanks, but neither one of y'all are just getting depleted and forgotten about in a relationship. So many of y'all get in these relationships, and not only is it over indexed where you having to take care of him and do for him and make him be a man, by the end of it, it just hurts because that fight that you were fighting by yourself, you lost. And in losing, honestly, you gained. You gained his absence. I wish y'all stop looking at every man. Now, if you did something to sabotage a relationship, because I'm your big brother here, I'm not here to tickle your ears. If you played yourself, if you thought you could find another him and you jumped over somebody, that's different. I'm not talking to y'all. But I'm talking to the majority of y'all who come to me and you're hurting and you're in pain and you've been traumatized and you're grieving, and I get it. It's not easy. But if you truly looked at what you were grieving, you only grieving the transition from lesser so you can get to greater. You're grieving that. It's like people that leave prison to come back to the free world and have all the opportunity. I know, we can get all deep and stuff. We're not going to do that. But people that come from prison after years and years, and that's all they know. And you got some people who are institutionalized, so, they don't want to leave prison. But those of us, we're like, hold on, you leaving prison. You were in shackles. You were told when you could use the bathroom, when you couldn't. You come into a whole better situation. And still, those people have to grieve. Not because prison was so great, but because prison was all they knew. Some of y'all are so hurt from the man that you lost because that's all you knew. Not because he was dope. Not because he was a good man. Not because you lost somebody valuable. Whole time, y'all can't qualify the pain outside of I really cared for him. Yeah, you did, and he didn't deserve it. I loved him. Yes, you did love him, and he mishandled that love. He had my heart. Yes, and his hands weren't big enough to hold that heart. That's why you hurt me. Not because he's so lit. And again, I'm speaking to a very specific amount of you guys. Those of you who are fighting tooth and nail, those of you who are recommending every bit of therapy, and that man didn't want to get therapy for himself, much less the relationship. Those of you who didn't actually do anything wrong, just be real with yourself. You want to go with DJ? You want to go with DJ? Yes. Okay, that's okay.
It took me a little long.
Take her out to the living room, please.
It took me long because they were both inside out.
Right, okay. You don't have to pick her up, DJ. She can walk. Thank you. Thank you so much. At some point, we're going to finish this conversation. But does that make sense to anybody? I know it's easier said than done whenever you hurting and you grieving and you thinking about, oh, I was going on dates. Oh, I was able to lay up with somebody. I had somebody there, at least somebody better than nobody. No, somebody's not better than nobody. An empty bed is so much better than the wrong spirit laying up beside you in your bed every night. An empty bed, that empty space beside your bed is much better than the wrong spirit taking up that space in your bed. Yes, baby, go ahead. And I'm going to do some Q&A after this. Y'all been so patient with me. Stuff showing everywhere. Sorry, YouTube. I'm going to do some Q&A after this. But this is why I'm so big. You know, whenever I first started talking about self-love about 10, 11 years ago, people thought I was crazy. Why is he talking about self-love? Why is he talking about this, that, and the other? And the truth is because sometimes in the effort to be loved, we can become so selfless. We become a martyr to the relationship. We're willing to sacrifice our full self, have nothing else to give in order to make a relationship work. I believe there should be a threshold. At the point you even reach that threshold, that's letting you know you're in the wrong situation. Marley, baby, why are you in here?
Because you said I could have the chocolate.
No, not right now. Wait till I get done. I'll be done in a bit.
And then I could have
Marley, I'm busy, baby. Y'all know the oldest one, they're gonna try it. So this is great. I wish I would have heard it 30 years ago. Says Tammy. I'm checking in with y'all. I see y'all. And if you got questions, you guys can put in the chat any moment. This message, honestly, is not for everybody. This is specifically for those of y'all who have ever hurt after a relationship in which you were the one fighting by yourself. That's let me put that disclaimer out there. This is for those of y'all who were the ones fighting for the relationship, carrying the relationship. Y'all were the ones trying to bring all the solutions to every problem in the relationship. This ain't for everybody. I know everybody's situation is different and all that kind of stuff, but so many women who have the hardest time getting over, recovering from, healing from a failed relationship. The thing that was failed was that you gave your love to somebody who did not deserve it. You failed in qualifying that man not to first receive your love, because I think there's no problem with if you give that man your love and he wasted, that's not on you. But you continue to pour until you had nothing left for yourself. And that's what hurt so bad. You went completely empty on a man who was empty from the beginning and was only going to take from you. He didn't have anything to give to you to begin with. He said, felt like I was teaching him. And so this is why I'm so big on any woman in a relationship, out of a relationship. You just like a car needs its tune up every few months, or every few years, or you need your tires rotated. As you wear and tear in a relationship, as you just are giving, and just life in general, you need to have a season of getting back to yourself, reestablishing yourself. Why? Because you're always evolving. If you are a growth-oriented woman, you're constantly investing in yourself. You're constantly learning. You're constantly trying to take accountability, be better, drop bad habits, gain new habits. You're going to need a space that you take to yourself to work on you and get back to you and establish you on a regular basis. You're going to need a season of selfishness, and any man who truly loves you is not going to have a problem with that. Just like men have this man cave. We always talk about men having a man cave, right? I don't really care for that. But let's go with it. Men have a man cave. Why? It's a place where we can go that's just for us. We take care of us. We have our needs, our desires. It's just about us. And we never lose ourselves because we have our own space in the house that's reserved for us. We make the rules and everything else. But instead of a man cave physically, or a woman cave rather, mentally and emotionally, women need a season, and a season is only a few weeks. If you do this 2 to 3 times a year to stay tapped in with who you are, who you're becoming, and the versions of you that you're shedding in order to become that new version of you, whether you're in a relationship, you're out of a relationship, nobody will ever make you lose yourself again. She is a daddy's girl already. She be right up under me, everything I do. Some of y'all, a little side note, some of y'all that are moms, single parents, y'all already know you try to use the bathroom, shower, anything like that. This the one right here, she ain't trying to have none of that. But I wasn't going to let this message wait. Because again, this is the same thing I would tell her. She ever get a man and get to loving him so much, because just like y'all, a lot of y'all know, some of y'all don't, but some of y'all know better than what you've done before, and you had to learn the hard way. If she ever get of age and got to learn the hard way, I'm gonna tell her the exact same thing. Before you come telling me about this man was so great and you so hurt that he left, I'm gonna look straight at what did he bring to your life. If he brought nothing but community D, headaches, stress, playing dumb, hyper focusing on one little sentence out of a 6-sentence paragraph of you clearly communicating like an adult about what you needed. If he brought nothing but distraction from your goals, hating on you achieving your goals because his life ain't moving the way he wanted to move. And I'm saying all of this because this is what y'all be bringing me. I started asking these questions about these dudes that y'all be grieving and hurting over. And I'm just sitting there like, why are you upset? God looked out for you. You upset over a cancer tumor being removed. You're not upset because you lost somebody valuable. You upset because you're no longer having pains and aches from the sickness, but you're having, you're recovering right now. You upset about that? Half y'all be crying over dudes. Y'all be losing sleep over dudes who didn't even have enough to put you to sleep. Let's go ahead and keep it all the way real. We grown now. We pass a certain hour. It's 8 something. I'm not gonna say certain words because y'all know it's ears. Some of y'all be losing sleep over dudes who didn't even have enough equipment to put you to sleep. My mind be blown. At least I understand the concept of demonetized. I understand a little bit of it. Your body got used to a certain type of experience it's not gonna have for a while or maybe ever again. I get that. Y'all be over there faking the O word and then hurting that this man no longer has you stressed out, dissatisfied, just left hanging every night in the bedroom. I don't get it. Y'all help me understand. Because when you're dealing with a selfish dude in a relationship, more than likely you're dealing with a selfish dude in the bedroom too. If he didn't care about your needs being met before he even got to that bedroom, more than likely he didn't care once he got there. Lisha, you okay? 1 second, because we're going to finish this. Okay, you good? Okay. My kids ain't supposed to be in the office, no way. Thank you. Just put on my jewelry. Let's move on to Q&A, y'all. Let's move on to Q&A. If you guys got questions, but I already started. I really want to take it there, but I can't talk like that around her ears. She's starting to form certain words, and these are lessons that she'll get whenever she's of age, but not right now. So what if it was the opposite scenario? What you mean, Mo Monroe? I don't understand. What you mean? Attaching someone who didn't really exist? Oh yeah, a lot of y'all be missing the ghost. You're not even missing the man. You're missing the facade. I was talking about this earlier. A dude will put up a front just long enough to get what he wants out of you or get a baby in your stomach so he can be linked to you long after he should have been out of your life. Whole time you missing what you thought of him. You missing what you knew he could be. You're not missing who he actually showed up as. It was a blessing for me the day that God removed that bad seed was removed. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying villainize him just because it's I'm just saying look at it honestly. Just look at it honestly. Did your mental and emotional and physical health increase while you was with that man? Was it stagnant at the same level as when you were single, or did it go downhill? If you can't say it increased, any of the other two answers is telling you it was a blessing to get him up out of here. If it didn't increase, that man's absence is a blessing. Still on? All right. I think we're still on. Hopefully. Let me take the charger out. Said I'm breaking the unhealthy attachment to that. Yeah, y'all, it ain't love. At some point, you understand, is it love or is it a toxic attachment? Is it something you just not ready to let go of? Masha, what's the matter? Come here. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. My services are needed elsewhere. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow. But for those who want to get on my next live chat with my Self-Crown Inner Circle, where I do the Q&A for an hour plus, go ahead and join the Selfish Season Challenge. I put the link on Facebook. That link right there at the bottom, that'll get you in the Selfish Season Challenge. It's a 15-day challenge that me and my inner circle are doing. And you get lifetime access to all the modules and the live chats every week. It's on YouTube as well, but I think in the description. Oh, you just sleepy. Yeah, let's get you settled for bed. With that being said, I'm going to holler at y'all later. Y'all be good. We're going to up out of here. Peace.